chances of new financial system announcement and U.S. civil war both skyrocketing. Evidence is mounting that both a new financial system and a civil war in the U.S. are imminent. There is also a high probability the U.S. East Coast will be hit with a geo-engineered hurricane so severe that people are being asked to evacuate 60 miles inland, CIA sources say. What seems to be happening is that the Khazarian mafia is unleashing weather weapons and making all the mischief to try to prevent the announcement of a new gold-backed financial system. This started on August 21st when Steven Mnuchin became the first U.S. Treasury Secretary to visit the Fort Knox gold depository since 1948 and proceed to tweet, "Glad gold is safe." Then, since his visit apparently failed to generate enough publicity, a fake scandal involving the visit to the fort, the solar eclipse, and pictures of his bikini-clad trophy wife appears to have been concocted. In all of this, Mnuchin failed to mention the fact the gold has not been counted since 1953, or how much gold is safe. But never mind, his wife makes for good distraction eye candy. Then self-described U.S. intelligence community financial advisor Jim Rickards appeared on TV predicting the price of gold would rise to $5,000 or even $10,000 an ounce. Also, the Rothschild contacted the White Dragon Society last week to inform them that a large amount of off-ledger gold was being monetized and moved into the financial system. They was backed up with a series of gold-related events from around the world. The most important one was the announcement that China is starting oil futures trading denominated in gold-backed yuan, a clear shot at the Khazarian mafia's petrodollar system. Then Germany's Bundesbank announced it has completed its plans to repatriate half of its gold 3 years in advance. Furthermore, Germany announced the forced evacuation of 60,000 people from around the area of the Bundesbank last weekend, just as 743 tons of gold was due to arrive there because of unexploded World War II bombs. This is interesting because when Germany first asked for its gold back from France and the US, neither country had any gold to give back. Around the same time, the Americans were caught shipping gold-plated tungsten to the Chinese. Now suddenly the gold is being returned ahead of schedule as Mnuchin tweets about gold being safe. So where is all this gold suddenly coming from? Two reliable sources say that gold bunkers in Asia are being opened and the gold is being removed. White Dragon Society sources in Indonesia were told by the Indonesian authorities that gold bunkers in Indonesia had indeed been opened and the gold was removed. Furthermore, Freeport McMoran announced that a deal has been reached with the Indonesian government to continue operation of the giant Grasberg mine there, with Indonesian getting 51% control. Sources in the Rothschild family say the mine is just a front, being used to launder the historical gold into the financial system. The important point to note, though, is that the Asians now have the majority control. Neil Keenan, for his part, has reported that gold and cash bunkers in South Korea have also been broken into. He backed this up by posting videos of gold as well as freshly minted US dollars and Korean won being divided up. All this gold-related announcement were combined with serious attacks on the current petrodollar system and strong indications the current US financial system is about to implode. Jacob Rothschild, for example, announced that his company, RIT Capital Partners, reduced its US dollar investment exposure to 37% from 61% in the first 6 months of this year. Rothschild reasons for getting out of U.S. access were unprecedented share prices and a belief that the artificial propping up of markets by the World Bank and central banks were unsustainable. Another high-level insider who is getting out of the U.S. stock market is investment guru Warren Buffett, who is now sitting on $100 billion in cash because he is finding it hard to find attractive deals. Investors are also paying 20% more of U.S. Treasuries that mature before the end of September U.S. fiscal deadline than they are for ones that mature after that date. Yet another sign that people sense something is coming. There was a charge on the internet that appeared shortly after the private central bankers had the Jackson Hole summer meeting that showed about 40% of so-called world GDP was just a fake central bank accounting magic. This charge has now been deleted from the internet. The Federal Reserve Board has announced it will be selling off the assets it has been buying to prop up the markets. But with $4.5 trillion worth of stocks on its books, it is mathematically impossible for them to do this without imploding the economy. While this writer does not pretend to be a financial advisor, I can say that in my long career as a financial journalist, I have never before seen so many clear warning signs of a disruptive financial event on the horizon. Clearly, the controllers of the old system are not going out without a fight. The once-in-a-thousand-years Hurricane Harvey was definitely a weather warfare attack on the U.S. The magazine Charlie Hebdo, owned by the French branch of the Rothschild family, seems to point the finger at its owner with a cover page implying that God flooded Houston, Texas, as an attack on Nazis. Now, an even bigger weather warfare attack is apparently about to take place in the form of Hurricane Irma. The warning below was forwarded to this writer from a source in the CIA via email. Maximum alert status: leave coastal eastern USA ASAP. Hurricane Irma. Expected landfall eastern coastline USA, tracking TBA C85 in higher expectation. Expect major damage, life-threatening, major flooding, power outrage, transport chaos, looting, high casualty rates, and death. Landfall expected from 9 September onwards, from 10th and 11 September 2017, could be sooner, TBA. Update sees the BPE Earthwatch on the web. Advice to all nations: make preparations now. Secure property. Leave the area by a distance of at least 60 miles from the coast. 6. Altitude. Avoid river valleys, floodplains, heavy population areas. Secure food, portable water, fuel, and secure shelter. This is not a drill. This is Harvey on steroids. Speed this warning forward and wide now. Do not wait for the crisis to develop. Even if this does not come ashore, the wave propagation is showing the wave height expectations of over 50 feet and duration of wave length of 60 seconds. All shipping leave tracking area immediately and run for safe haven at the maximum speed while time allows, please. All models agree to above data set. Paget, Director, North Atlantic Intelligence Group's Public Domain, ends 23.10. The 2nd September 27, treat as urgent. This writer could not locate any North Atlantic Intelligence Group on the internet, but clearly, at the very least, some people in the CIA are trying to generate fear. The U.S. military is in any case taking action. Here's what a Pentagon sources had to say. Hurricane Harvey, while traffic allows the military to bring troops and equipment to stop states like California from seceding, defend the Republic's gold depository, defend borders from drug cartels, terrorists, human armed traffickers, stop the UN Agenda 21st, which preys on weak states, deny Soros' illegal alliance on his anti-fight troops, strengthen the state's leadership against the Khazarian liberal LGBT, abortions, pro-immigrations, anti-Christians, anti-gun agenda. There is also a crackdown continuing in Washington, D.C. against Mossad assets like former Democratic National Committee Chair Debbie Wasserman-Schultz and Zionist Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, the sources say. Thugs like the Antifa and fake KKK realtors hired by the Khazarians are also being rounded up now that the FBI and Department of Homeland Security have formally labeled them as domestic terrorists. Google's Eric Schmidt, Facebook Mark Zuckerberg, and Amazon Jeff Bezos are also now under the attack of their Brazilian efforts to manipulate public discourse and will have the companies nationalized and broken up, CIA sources say. The other person who is under serious attack now is top-ranking Centanist Benjamin Netanyahu, who faced jail in Israel for corruption but really should be treated as a war criminal of the highest order. Netanyahu recently visited Russia uninvited and made a series of threats to Russian President Vladimir Putin, multiple sources agree. Pentagon sources say Putin was not amused by Bibi threats and lies and sent to attack submarines into the Mediterranean to hunt Israeli subs, to improve training and test new weapons, and potentially to impose a navy blockage. The Khazarian-controlled or influenced Raj states of Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the Ukraine are being steadily quarantined while the criminal leadership is being removed. North Korea, for its part, is getting lots of money and weapons technology from the Khazarians, but is only interested in its own survival and is not about to start some suicide nuclear attack on behalf of Khazarians with apocalyptical delusions.